We move along with a program of transforming government with quality practices from the city of Oxnard, California. And we have Priscilla Hernandez and Cynthia Daniels.
Good morning. It's both a pleasure and a gut-wrenching experience to be before you this morning. It feels a lot like our innovation. The city of Oxnard is not unique in that, like many other organizations, we adopted innovation as a means of survival. After a severe recession, declining federal and state funding, decreasing property tax revenue, and a 25% reduction in non-police staff, we realized that we had to continue. We had to change things to continue to meet the increasing demands of our residents. We had to make a fundamental change in the way that we conducted business. And to do this, we knew that we had to change our structure, we had to change our corporate culture, we had to change employee attitudes and behaviors, remove obstacles to customer satisfaction, and cultivate leadership throughout our organization. These were exhausting, exhilarating, and chaotic times. So extensive was our innovation that we termed it transformation. We went from a rule-bound bureaucracy, maybe to a fault, to an innovative, customer-focused organization. We created an environment that honors and expects individual achievement and team cooperation. We culled the best of private, nonprofit, and public sector examples. To do this, we formulated a 6-year strategic vision that would fundamentally alter the way that we would deliver services. We took 17 departments and reorganized them into 90 multiple programs charged with delivering services that our customers wanted in the most effective, most efficient way. Each program was defined by the employees accountable for the successes and the results, and was developed to be aligned with the city's mission. We were working and using remarkable approaches that we termed innovation. Our neighbors called it crazy. Changing the corporate structure was paramount for the transformation to occur. To accomplish this, training was initiated to assist employees in developing the skills that they needed to transform the organization. City employees now provide most of the city's training and also serve as faculty to the Oxnard University, the city's accredited learning institute. Employee training consisted of team-based approaches, leadership, performance measurement, customer focus, ethical public service, consensus decision-making, entrepreneurial approaches, continuous growth and improvement, partnership development, employee participation and involvement, and a variety of best practices such as process improvement tools and program analysis. The Oxnard Leadership Academy was born, and it instilled basic skills necessary to lead people through change and maintain high performance. This training was critical because most of our frontline people had never had leadership roles prior to the transformation. To date, the Academy has had 253 participants, not only from the city, but also from our community. When transformation began, Oxnard was a typical governmental structure with employees acting as reviewers and others serving as idea generators. The city realized that by moving the oversight and review tasks, the work product could be processed quicker and employees would be free to produce their own products. Program teams were accountable for their services while individual members took ownership of their work. Existing managers became mentors, coaches, and advisors, sharing oversight, evaluation, and problem-solving opportunities with the teams. To gauge successes, Oxnard uses benchmarking and performance measures, which we continue to improve in order to evaluate our progress and results. City customers are involved in the improvement of our services through direct participation, discussion, and customer service surveys. The journey has definitely been incredible, and the results have been many. In the last 3 years, the city's general fund budget, exclusive of public safety, was reduced by $5 million. In spite of this, overall crime was reduced by 25%. Customer frustration with our plan check process reduced a 6-week to 8-week process to 3 weeks. This improved process was key in achieving and convincing Haas Automation, a multi-million-dollar precision machine company with 600 new high-paying jobs, to locate in Oxnard. Using a business plan, our graffiti eradication team developed and won a bid against the private sector. In partnership with schools, the city implemented 8 new after-school programs serving approximately 720 children a day. Rates for water, sewer, refuse, and landscaping assessment districts have not increased for 3 years. This was done is remarkable only because our employees were key in making these changes instrumental. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bill Klinger.
This program was initially, as I understand it, driven by the need to cut back because of the funding, limitation on funding. But the thing that really impressed me about it is a performance-based, fairly radical change to a performance-based program. One of the challenges I think facing the federal government now is in implementing the Government Performance and Results Act is to get the personnel to go along with this. There's a resistance to change, a resistance to trying a radically different approach to the way you deliver services. How did you overcome that resistance on the part of, inevitable resistance on the part of your employees to change?
I think that the training was instrumental, but beyond that, the fact that employees realized that they had the support of management, that they had the support of the city council. That I think was key in how once employees believed that it was okay to step out of the box and do things that were radically different and take risks that they had never taken in government, I think that change came, and it came quickly.
Antonio.
One of the questions I have is that the politics of Oxnard right now are different. What's the future of this program under the present political environment? Will you survive?
I'm very positive about that. I mean, recognizing that I'm not the Moses that started this innovation and the Aaron, I've seen that even in the midst of our political, and I won't use the word turmoil because I think there's some philosophical differences, that our employees have continued to do what they've done best, and that the council has continued to support program-based environment and also to support our team efforts. So I think that's real critical, and I think that it will survive. I think definitely we've learned a lot in the process, and that there are some changes that we have made and some changes that the council is asking us to make. But the things that are most important, I think, are the performance measures that we talked about, the fact that teams work together to make results, I think are important to mention. And I did want to mention that I am not and have never been related to anyone on this prestigious board.
Governor Roberts.
The coloring outside the lines, which is really what you're doing in this reinvention effort for your community, you were asked about the political overtones of that. The reinvention process means you also have to reinvent politically sometimes. Can you talk about how you have attempted not only to move your employees, but to make certain that there is community support that may affect the political support eventually? Can you talk about the community's sense of this as well as the governmental sense?
Sure. I think until there were issues that were raised, I'm not so sure that the community knew what we were doing. They knew that they were getting results, so that there wasn't a concern about whether government was working. When it became to the forefront, then people started asking about, well, where is the boss? Who do I call? Before that, there wasn't really an issue with that, as long as they were getting their services delivered. So one of the things that we're going to continue to do is to make sure that we're communicating every step of the way. Sometimes you have a roadmap and you're following that map and you're this close to your destination, and then you realize that you're a little lost. And so I think part of the reason for that is we were so caught up in our innovation and delivering and getting the results that we were getting, that we failed to communicate as clearly and as concisely as we should have.
Donald McHenry.
You suggested that some changes have been offered to you. What are some of those, and how will they affect the program?
I'm sorry, could you
You
repeat?
suggested changes have been suggested to you in terms of the program. What are some of those, and how will they affect it?
One of the major changes is that, as we talked about, when we transformed to a program-based organization. What that meant was that literally 17 department head positions were done away with or absorbed within our organization. One of the things that the council has asked is that we reintroduce some type of an executive or director role into our 5 major categories, which include the public safety, the infrastructure and utilities, community resident services, community development, and the admin and support services areas. So that would be, I think, the major change. Other than that, it would pretty much be the same.
I'm afraid we've run out of time. Thank you.